Just finished the first day at the Carolina Renaissance Festival. I am back home in Gastonia and enjoying a little downtime with me and Whoopsie the cat, which is just showing you tail and rear end right now. So I'm asking people online what I should talk about, and nobody is coming up with something. Let me see if we have anything now. No, nothing now. So I travel the country a lot. I see different things. I see different sights. It's always good to change your perspective on something. The way I use that in my work, in my show, is you'll see me on one side of the stage, which I normally stand on, and then early on in the show, I'll be on the other side of the stage, and that gives me a different viewpoint of the audience. So if I'm making my pick, if I'm trying to choose whether I'm going to pick a Robin Hood or if I'm going to pick the Big Bad Wolf or something, I will often go to the opposite side of the stage because, oddly enough, just changing that perspective will allow me to see things that I won't see on my regular side. So I'll be over on that side at the beginning of the show just so I'm catching things from a different angle. And then I'll go back to my side. And you'll be amazed how many people that I would have missed if I just stayed on my one side. So that also applies in our lives and the things that we're doing. You know, change your perspective. If you've ever seen Dead Poets Society, they stood on top of the desks so they could get a different perspective on stuff. So they could see their world from a slightly different angle. And it gave them another point of view. It changed how we see things. We always say that, you know, you'll never judge somebody unless you can walk a mile in their shoes, unless you can see things from their perspective. And they even have that TV show where the bosses of huge companies are now going in and secretly coming in as a beginning level employee. So one, they can see what everybody is doing at that level, and they gain a different perspective. And two, it'll help retrain them on those things they have to deal with. So in your day-to-day life, you know, if something's, you know, if you're hitting a wall or something's giving you a hard time, maybe just slightly change your perspectives. Look at it from a different angle. Whether it's something as simple as standing on a desk or walking to the other side of a stage, whether it's, I remember doing a workshop for a festival. I think it was the Arizona Renaissance Festival, where I was actually helping out, and people were developing their characters. So they needed bits that they could do with the patrons coming through the gate, so they could talk to the patrons and you know, find something funny, some kind of whimsical thing. And so I said, okay, work on your character and come up with a couple of bits. And then the next class, what we're going to do is we swapped characters. Give your character to somebody else so they could come up with those bits, giving that character a different perspective, or, you know, having a different perspective for that character. And of course they would give that character back to the person who was going to be it, but now they have other stuff to work with that they may not have thought of. So in your day-to-day job, you can actually talk to somebody else. You know, if you're working through an issue or a problem or whatever, you can talk to somebody else you might not normally have said something to, just to gain a different perspective. And it might help you with that breakthrough. So use all the tools in your toolbox. Remember, we are all connected in this matrix we call life. We are all part of the universe, of God, of this quantum soup. So you're actually just kind of asking yourself, although you're asking somebody else, just from a different point of view, somebody who's standing on a desk that you may not be standing on. Help yourself out. Use all the tools in your toolbox. Ask your friends. Ask, you know, a therapist if you need to talk to a therapist. Your boss, whatever. Something to help you break through and try to have fun at it. Make a game out of it, because it becomes the hurdles are funner to jump over when it's part of a game. Welcome to my modern world.